Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children over the age of 18, welcome back to your favorite LOs. My name's Ortiz, that's Travis, and on today's edition of Terminology Tuesday, we're going to talk about two terms that often get confused with one another, and that's pre-qualification and pre-approval. So go ahead, grab that pen and a piece of paper and your favorite beverage, and we'll be back in a second to break down the two terms. See you in a few. All right, folks, welcome back. And like I said in the intro, today we're going to talk about two terms that often get confused with each other. So, Travis, you started off. Please tell the folks what is pre-qualification and what does it mean to them in the whole process of a mortgage?
So pre-qualification is just quite simply, I look at it as the very first step in your home purchase journey. Um, the hard part is that it's just the first step. Most oftentimes, in order to place offers and to know what you're dealing with, you're going to need to get further down the road. But essentially, a pre-qualification is typically going to be a conversation that's had between yourself and a loan officer like myself or Tez, and just go over your qualifications for a mortgage. Pre-qualification or pre-qualified has kind of become a dirty word in real estate circles, because for a long time, pre-qualifications were kind of like I don't know if you want to call them the golden standard, but they were more common. People were actually placing offers on homes with pre-qualifications, which ultimately led to disaster more often than not. Pre-qualification just essentially means you had a conversation about your finances with a loan officer. A pre-qualification for some lenders will be issued based on that conversation. Tez and I at Affordable Mortgage Partners, we try to move from pre-qualified to pre-approved. We don't actually hand out any pieces of paper for pre-qualification because we want to make sure that you're actually able to close on the houses that you're looking at. Pre-qualification most often will not include a hard credit inquiry. So if you're getting pre-qualified, usually we're not gathering documentation. We're having conversations. Oftentimes joke that like you could tell me that you're the king of England and that you make $1 million, and your credit score is 800. And in a pre-qualification sense, I would pre-qualify you for just about anything that you'd want. The difference between the two quite often is just the documentation that's gathered to take a pre-qualification to a pre-approval. Now, it's absolutely important that you have a conversation with your loan officer to make sure that you're comfortable, make sure that you have a rapport there. That's the time that you work through your pre-qualification. But in no way is the pre-qualification going to get you into a home. We're seeing nowadays in today's market, if you don't have a pre-approval, you're probably not even able to walk through that home. So pre-qualification, bare minimum, and the first step in the process. Fair assessment, Tez?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much spot on. Pre-qualification, like you said, it's just a general conversation, so you can get an idea of what your buying power is and a general sense of what you can afford. So it's not really the bee's knees, I should say, when it comes to the mortgage process, which kind of transitions to me to the next one, which is the pre-approval, which you stole a half of my thunder there, brother. But I will go ahead and talk about the pre-approval. Well, the pre-approval is just that. It's just an approval that's done before you actually go out there to purchase a home, and it carries more weight in the mortgage world to attain the pre-approval. Typically, the first steps is you're submitting a mortgage application to your lender, so like me or Travis. That includes document verification like income, employment history, and more importantly, like the credit report, right? So we take a look at your credit history. We get down to the brass tacks. And typically, for the most part, we pre-underwrite the file. So then that way we know that what we're telling that you can afford is what you'll have on your pre-approval letter that you will go out and shop for in regards to a home. So basically, the advantage of a pre-approval is to basically demonstrate to the sellers and real estate agents that you are a serious buyer and you're not just a fly-by-night person saying like, well, hey, I'm good for this, et cetera, et cetera. It's really showing that you're putting some skin in the game and you come out with a clear picture of the loan amount that you can qualify for, and then expedite the mortgage process when you do find the right home that you want to go ahead and purchase. So a pre-approval is the next big step before the pre-qualification. Like Travis said, the pre-qualification is just like a simple 5-10 minute conversation based on, he say, she say, whereas the pre-approval gets down to the nitty gritty. We peel back the onion, so to say. We find, finding ways we can increase that approval, et cetera, et cetera. But we're really talking about the numbers and getting down to brass tacks when it comes to what it is you actually can afford and put an offer on. So, if I didn't mess anything up, Travis, did I miss anything in regards to the pre-approval?
No, fantastic job. And what we're seeing in today's industry is that not all pre-approvals are created equal anymore. It used to be that, a pre-qualification went up against a pre-approval and the pre-approval won. Well, now you have two pre-approvals going up against each other, and those aren't even the same. What Tez and I like to do with our clients is get them in front of an underwriter, get those documents underwritten, get everything taken care of so that you have the peace of mind that knows, as long as I have a good appraisal and a good inspection, or a good inspection and a good appraisal, then I am going to close on this home that I placed the offer on. Not only is that going to give you peace of mind, it's going to give the real estate agents peace of mind, but most importantly, for a competitive market, the seller. We want to get your offers accepted. We've hit on a couple other videos where we talked about the importance of knowing what you can do and how fast you can do it. Nothing closes faster than a client who has gone through and done all of the right things up front. I oftentimes will tell my clients, if you give me a couple days of pain up front, it will be a lot easier for you. When you're already stressed out going through the actual process of the mortgage, trying to figure out if you need a moving truck, all the other stuff. Let's not let something silly like something we could have found in a pre-approval, get between you and that home. So great job on the pre-approval. I just, most important thing for you as a buyer is that if they're not asking you in-depth questions and they're not actually getting documentation to back that up, they're not doing you any favors. We get a lot of tire kickers that will call us every day and we'll discuss things like interest rates and closing costs and all these other things. And the bottom line is that, we're not going to be mean to you and we're not going to do it on purpose, but we don't genuinely know what those costs may be or what that interest rate may be, or if you could even buy a house until we've gathered up the appropriate documentation and done the right things on our end.
Excellent, excellent add. And that just kind of made me think of one last little bit before we wrap up this video. Folks, have that transparent conversation with your loan officer about eligibility versus affordability, ladies and gentlemen, because the loan amount that you're eligible for doesn't mean that you can afford that loan amount. Too often do I see clients when I see their an arrivaling a pre-approval, the amount is just so far out that the client, yeah, they're happy to have that amount, but when it comes to a mortgage payment, it's not something that's realistically affordable for them. So really have that conversation of eligibility versus affordability, because Lord knows, at least like I said, I wouldn't tell my mom anything wrong. I wouldn't want her to make her house rich and life poor, ladies and gentlemen. I know in today's market, it's pricier, but really talk with your loan officer to see like what is affordable to you and comfortable for your current lifestyle. And then maybe they can tailor a loan that would be more efficient to you or give you some strategies to whereas that payment may still be beneficial, but you'll be able to afford more because we were able to do something creatively with the debts that you had when it came to your pre-approval, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, that's the only thing I would really add because I see that trips up a lot of people. Anything else, Trav? You want to put into a context for the
Oh,
folks?
great job.
Okay,
No,
awesome,
no, I
awesome.
think you got it.
Awesome. So, as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you found this information to be valuable, please go ahead, hit that like button, as well as the subscribe button and the bell notification. So that way you're always up to date whenever we drop new content about this mortgage knowledge. But with that being said, again, my name is Ortez. That's Travis. And we are your favorite LOs. Until next time, see ya.